Things to keep in mind for the implicit acceptance process are, again, that the request set contains two concurrent programs. They need to be run, they need to be scheduled to run, but quite frankly, they just need to run, otherwise nothing will get accepted. The two programs are, first, generate pre-billing acceptance, and that updates all the pre-billing acceptance records. The revenue contingency analyzer for post-billing, and that updates all the post-billing implicit acceptance records. The implicit acceptance programs validate against the expiration date respective of the timestamp value. And the reason I'm pointing this out is you have an event attribute of ship confirm. Your expiration date is 1. If I ship confirm on February 17th at 2 p.m. and I have my implicit request set running, my record will not get grabbed as a valid updatable transaction until February 18th at 2 p.m. or later. So the timestamp is part of the validation. Now we're going to flip hats and go into post-billing. So this is the post-billing process overview. Again, it's post-billing, it's after invoicing, it's tied to customer acceptance removal event. And again, your invoice is generated because it's after billing, but your revenue is held in the unearned revenue account. So only your revenue recognition is deferred. You can process your acceptance just like in pre-billing. You can do it either implicitly via the implicit acceptance request set based on your expiration, or you can do it explicitly manually through the OIP, or programmatically via order import or process orders API. Once your acceptance is completed, the workflow will transition to closed. Your original unearned revenue account entry is debited, and the dollars are credited into the appropriate revenue account. Your acceptance date on post-billing transactions is used as the GL date in the revenue recognition transaction. Here's a flow chart for the post-billing customer acceptance flow. And this is very similar to the pre-billing, except for when you come out of the acceptance required decision. So again, we're going to go straight down the left, and that's a normal flow. You're going to enter and book your sales order, pick, release, and ship confirm your material. Acceptance required, no, it's a normal order flow. Kick it out, create your invoice, recognize your revenue. If we're going to do an acceptance order, we're going to enter and book our order. Order management is going to go out again and hit the AR API call and say, okay, do I have any assignment rule criteria that I need to use to automatically apply my customer acceptance data to my sales order line? Yes or no, apply it. No, a user can manually enter it. Then we're going to go and pick, release, and ship confirm our order. Acceptance required, yes, it's post-billing flow, so because it's post-billing, it's after invoicing. So we're going to drop the post-billing into the auto invoice, create my invoice, and then kick it out into, okay, well, what type of acceptance are we doing? We're not going to recognize revenue until the very end on the post-billing. So in post-billing, if it's explicit, we're going to go up across the top, over to the right. We're going to record our acceptance either manually through OIP or programmatically through order import or process orders API. And then we're going to go drop down into the process acceptance concurrent program and wait for it to be grabbed. If it's implicit, it's going to come across and again wait for expiration date. Okay, so what's my grace period? How many days am I going to wait before I update my revenue recognition basically on these? Once it expires, again, it's going to drop into the process acceptance concurrent programs. For post-billing, the second program is what makes the updates. It's the revenue contingency analyzer program, and that's going to amend the original revenue recognition assignments, completing acceptance for all the eligible post-billing records. It's going to come out of there and then drop into the revenue recognition. Here are some screenshot examples of the post-billing process. Not as many as the pre-billing, but enough to give you a look and feel. Before ship confirm, again, our top window in the main shows us awaiting shipping, just like normal. On the bottom screen, it shows us our Others tab, which shows me any acceptance information tied to that sales order line. And this is telling me my customer acceptance name is post-bill explicit. And from there, because I know it's post-bill explicit, it's saying that lets me know that it has to be manually accepted or programmatically accepted via order import or the process orders API. Okay? The reason I'm pointing that out is it has to be told that it's accepted versus the program running and saying, oh, okay, it expired, now I can accept it. The reason I'm pointing this out is because I have no value in my expire events, and I have no value in my expire days. So I've not given myself a safety net in terms of when I set up my deferral reason. And on the business side, I'm only bringing up the safety net because, for example, let's say I have a large customer that says, you will not invoice me until I say you invoice me. You will not invoice me until I accept it. And that's all fine and good, but on a vendor side of the fence, I can say, that's fine. We won't invoice you until you accept, but to reduce our open receivables or our financial risk or exposure, we're only going to give you 30 days. 30 days after your ship confirm date, if you've not contacted us or done an acceptance, we are going to invoice you. Now we're going to look at the workflow diagrams associated with the post-billing process. And again, the workflow is completely independent of the acceptance method. So this is just, remember, what type of deferral are we doing regardless of what type of acceptance we're doing. So my workflow is stopped at the close line process block in the workflow diagram. If I zoom into that block, you'll see that it's held at close line pending acceptance, and it's going to sit there completely until it is accepted, and then it would come out and then close the line.